Hi, this is John Sterling, and you're watching Billy the Batboy's Corner.
How's it going, everybody, and welcome to this interview here on Billy the Batboy's Corner. I'm Billy Pinckney, and we have a very special guest, and that's former New York Yankees Batboy Ray Negron, and there's some Batboy to Batboy talk today. Ray, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, brother. It's good to be here, and nice to be here with this great fraternity known as Batboys.
Absolutely. Now, what an incredible story you have, really a great story. And I want to let you tell the viewers about your early life, which ultimately led to the greatest opportunity of your life.
Well, my life in baseball started in 1973. I was actually doing graffiti outside Yankee Stadium with a few guys. And, that was when the Bronx was burning. This was the 70s. And, all bets were off. It was what it was, and the street life was what we really knew. And 1973 was the year that they were after the season, they were going to be knocking down the old Yankee Stadium. Okay. The original Yankee Stadium, and then renovate it right there in that spot. So you only had like 1,500, 2,000 people showing up at the ball games, and so that's basically what, we didn't think anything of it. So one day we were doing graffiti outside the ballpark, and all of a sudden a car drives up on the sidewalk, and two guys jump out. Everybody starts to run. I trip over one of the guy's ankles. You know what I'm saying? So I go down, I'm caught. I'm put in a holding cell. And then the guy that had captured me actually went back, got me out, took me back to Yankee Stadium to the clubhouse. And all of a sudden they're giving me a uniform. And that man said to me, "Tonight you're going to be our bad boy. That's how you're going to work off your damages." And look what punishment, right?
Yeah.
And so that night I was the bad boy for the Yankees, and the guy that caught me was George Steinbrenner. Wow. So the rest is history, because after that he was always there for me and in every way possible.
That's awesome. It's and being a Batboy is so many kids' dreams to stand in Yankee Stadium on the field and be around the players. And I remember my first day as a Batboy, I was asked by a pitcher who played in AAA with the Yankees to find a box of curveballs. And I was running around trying to find a box of curveballs so we could win the game, and the pitcher could throw some nasty pitches. So it's a lot of fun. But on your first day, did any of the players mess with you or do something that kind of broke you in to being in the clubhouse?
Well, the problem was that the way I went in there was like, it wasn't your typical situation.
Unconventional, right?
You know what I'm saying? Because you're talking about there's a policeman here, there's a detective here, and then they want to take me down to central booking. The owner doesn't want that. He wants to see if he can do something with me.
Right.
They're screaming, "You can't do nothing with those kids." It was just like one of those type of things where the players were like laughing. That was the joke within itself, because the players were laughing at what the hell was going on, and like, this is not. Why is this happening in our clubhouse? You know what I'm saying? And actually, the first guy to actually come up to me was Ron Bloomberg.
Huh.
And he didn't say, "Who are you? What's your name?" or anything. He just walked over to me with a bag of bagels. He says, "You want a bagel?" And I didn't even know what the hell a bagel was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was, that was essentially like my first day.
Wow. That's awesome. Ron Bloomberg, he was on one of my last podcasts, and he's a great guy. Being a Batboy, you're able to build those great relationships with the players and coaches, and everyone has a different type of personality. And you worked alongside guys like Billy Martin, Reggie Jackson, Thurman Munson. Tell us about some of the relationships you made with the guys and how impactful those were for you.
Well, you know what? The aspect of where I came from, the life that I was living, being the aspect of a street guy, they were situations of which helped me. Mm-hmm. You understand? Because I wasn't like one of these spoiled kids. You know, a lot of times with the Bat Boys, they know somebody. Their father knows somebody. I mean, that's how these things happen per se. There are a lot of politics involved with getting those jobs, as you know.
Right.
But with my situation, it was, I mean, that was so far on the other side of the tracks, so I was like a totally different type of bird. And so with the kind of life that Thurman Munson had came from, his father disappeared on him when he was young, things to that effect. Same situation with me. My father gave me up for adoption. So we had a lot in common. And the same thing with Reggie Jackson. We had a lot in common just from the standpoint of where we came from. And Billy Martin, we really had a lot in common, because with the exception that he was Italian and I was Puerto Rican, it was the whole aspect of his father took off, my father took off. His mother was extremely tough. My mother was extremely tough. Both their names were Jenny. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it was just too many similarities, and we couldn't have been more like father son. You know what I'm saying? We could not have been more like father son, me and Billy Martin. And to this day, I'm still very close to his kids. But there again, I'm close to Thurman Munson's son, Michael. Michael was only 4 years old when his father died. Wow. And to this, Reggie's my son's godfather. And then with a passion, I miss George Steinbrenner every single day. So that was my relationship, and it was just you could not have been closer. It could not have been better. It could not have been more real. It was so real that it was unrealistic, if you know what I mean.
Right. No, I get it. I mean, being a young kid, when I was 11 years old, being in a clubhouse full of professional players, it's pretty surreal. Getting to make those relationships is really special. So I want to also talk about some stories. Do you have any stories that, are, aside from the original story of you getting the job, that are memorable to you and you always remember?
Well, one of the more famous ones is, Reggie Jackson's first season was 1977. And he had a rough time with the fans because the fans were for Billy, you understand? So, Reggie got there and he proclaimed himself the straw that stirs the drink, if you know that story. And so when we got into the World Series and we got to Game 6, by this time, I was like answering all of Reggie's fan mail. After the games, I would go back to Reggie's apartment, and I was working for Reggie, working for the Yankees. I was working at Billy Martin's Cowboy store. So, I mean, it was just it was crazy. But when Reggie hit the first home run, I went up to him and I said, "Take a curtain call." And he said, "Hell no, I'm not taking a curtain call. They don't deserve it." That's literally what happened. So I walked away. You see it all in the dugout. You could see all the whispering and our lift moving and all that. So the second home run, I went up to him. I said, "Reggie, take a curtain call." And Reggie said, "I'm not taking a curtain call." So I said, "If you hit a third home run, you will take a curtain call then, right?" And he started laughing. He said, if I hit a third, I'll take the curtain call for your crazy ass. So naturally, first time, his last time up, first pitch, center field bleachers, home run. He gets into the dugout, and everybody's going crazy. Everybody's in love with each other, all that kind of stuff, right? So you see me going right to his ear, and I said, Reggie, you promised you would take the curtain call. So he looks out, and then I start to push him. He goes out. He took the curtain call.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm proud of that because at different award ceremonies, he has told that story.
Right.
Because he said, I never meant to take the curtain call, but Ray Negron made me do it.
That's awesome. Little stories like that are just really special, and show how close the players are with the Batboys in different situations like that. And I also want to mention your ring. I mean, I have mine on, you have yours on. It's really special. And tell the story of when you found out that you were going to be receiving a ring and how special that was for you.
Well, this is my 1996 ring. And what happened was, when I walked to the office at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, we had won the 1996 World Series. Okay, and that was the year of Dwight Gooden, Darryl Strawberry. Dwight pitched the no-hitter, etc. And if you know anything about what happened, I was the one that talked George Steinbrenner into signing Doc and Darryl, even though many people were saying, don't do it, these guys are no good, etc., etc., etc. And he took my word over his so-called baseball people and signed these guys, and these guys didn't let him down.
Yeah.
And, we won the World Series. So the spring of that following year, when I walked into the park, the guy says, the boss wants to see you. So when I walked up into his office, he opens up his drawer and took out the box, and he threw it at me. So I caught it, and then I said, what's this? He said, open it. And so I opened it up. There's the ring, and I got emotional.
Wow.
And I started crying. He started crying, and he's like, get the hell out of here.
That's awesome.
Good
stuff. Now, you're currently still associated with the Yankees. Tell us what you do and how you help out the organization.
I'm the community consultant, and I deal with, I like taking the players to hospitals, to schools, talk to kids, and try to explain to them the Yankee way, and in essence, try to deliver proper messages. And that's what I do. And during the pandemic, I've been just in essence, showing the fans, the people in the Bronx especially, that, hey, the Yankees have not forgotten them. We're still there. And, I try, me and my friends, we try to get as much food and things like that to the people that are in need. And, that's what my life has been the last year and a half.
Right. Now, you've also been involved with a few books, movie. Tell us about those ventures.
Well, I've been lucky because when Reggie was in New York, he was doing commercials for Panasonic and all these different, he was Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan. He was the biggest star in baseball. And he was in New York, and he was doing, I'll never forget, this one was a Volkswagen commercial. And what had happened was Elvis Presley died. And one day he asked me, you think I'm like the Elvis Presley of baseball? And so I said, nah, not really. I was always pretty slick.
Yeah.
And so he said, why is that? And I said, because whenever Elvis did movies and stuff, he always had his guys working with him. And so he couldn't be outdone. So he picked up the phone, called his agent, and said, what's my next commercial? He said, we have a Volkswagen in September. And he said, get Ray Negron in that commercial. and that was my first commercial. From there, I did Old Spice, and I did Panasonic and stuff like that, a Canon camera. And from there, that led on to a part in a film called The Blue Skies Again for Warner Brothers. And I co-starred in that film with Andy Garcia. You know the name?
No.
Andy Garcia was in The Godfather 3. He played Sonny's son in The Godfather 3, and he's been one of the big stars in Hollywood for a long time.
Wow.
And so anyway, that was our first film together. And since then, I've probably done about over a dozen films.
Wow.
I just did a film last year called The Bottom of the Ninth with Sofia Vergara and Joe Manganiello. You know those names?
Right.
So that was a lot of fun. I actually was an associate producer in that project.
Wow. That's
and
great.
I did through my books, I've been a New York Times best-selling author several times. My first book was what the hell was the name of the book? Oh my God. Anyway, The Greatest Story Never Told was the book that I'm most proud of. Okay, and it's a story about Babe Ruth and Jackie Robinson and the so-called relationship that they may or may not have had. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It depends on who you talk to. So through my research, I put the book together in a children's book. And I'm really proud of it because it's a book about how Babe Ruth felt about Black people and the fact that we were all created equal, per se. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And not enough is told about Babe Ruth and how he felt about that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a big reason. That's the only reason why he never got a chance to manage. Because they felt that if he became a manager, he might bring in Black players.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he was already barnstorming, playing with even though he was told not to, he would still barnstorm and play against Black teams all around the country.
Right.
So I was always fascinated by the greatness, and when I say greatness, meaning his heart, of Babe Ruth.
Wow. It's great stuff. Great stuff.
Oh, and by the way, Babe Ruth was a big advocate for bat boys. He used to have his own personal bat boy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm proud to say that the bat boy's name was Ray.
There we
His
go.
name was Ray. Ray Kelly was his name. Ray Kelly. He actually just died in 2002.
Really? Yeah. No, I remember hearing stories about the Bat Boys signing autographs for him and all those for a nickel and those stories like that. But it's fun stuff. Now, also, you do a lot of charitable work. I see a lot on social media. Tell the viewers what you're up to nowadays and how you've been able to help those in need.
Just, walking around, I have a lot of friends that own restaurants and stuff like that. And I ask them if there's food and stuff that we can, in essence, give to those in need. Let's box them, let's take them over. And I've been very, very lucky. In the last year, we probably have fed over 3,000 families.
Wow.
And I'm proud of that.
It's great.
I'm very proud of that. And I have to add that if it wasn't for the magic of the Yankees, it wouldn't be possible.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they feel like, a lot of, when they're, when they're helping me, they're helping the Yankees help the people. You know what I'm saying? And that's important, because that's always been the Yankee way.
Right.
And that's definitely been the Steinbrenner way.
Right.
You know?
The Yankees always do lots of great things for the community, and getting out there with charities, and as you mentioned before, with the hospitals and helping kids out like that. It's special to see, for sure. And,
right.
The last question I want to ask you is what message you would like to send out to the world. Your story is a true example of receiving a second chance and an opportunity, and see how that changed your life is really special to see. So with everything that you've witnessed, what message would you like to send out there?
Just the fact that we need to understand that there is such a word called love. You know what I'm saying? And we take it for granted. We really, really do. We take God for granted. We really, really do. And we take our parents for granted. We really, really do. Because, without our parents, whether you had one, wherever, or, whoever was that mentor, it's so important, because without them, we would be nowhere. I know, without the mentors that I've had, and I've been lucky, because I was raised with, there were 7 boys in my house. Okay. And 6 out of the 7 ended up going to prison. Okay. And today, 6 out of the 7 are dead. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just the aspect that I had the right mentors there, that I believed in, whether they were the right mentor or not. It was the fact that I believed in them. So I wanted to be like them. I wanted to believe in them. They meant the world to me. The Thurman Munsons, the Bobby Mercers, those guys meant the world to me. And of course, George Steinbrenner. I mean, I would be nothing without him. Nothing.
Right. It's really special. And the last thing before I let you go, where can the viewers find out more about what you do?
Hey, just check in my Instagram. As we say on there, a day in the life of Ray Negron. And pick up my book, Yankee Miracles. You know what I'm saying? Where is that? Hold on. Because this book tells you everything. It's literally become like my Bible, from the standpoint it tells the story of the players that I loved so very much, my relationship with George Steinbrenner, and our relationship with the people of the city of New York, and in baseball in general. And again, I'm very, very proud of this book, because I was able to tell the story. And you know what? And it was supported wholeheartedly by George Steinbrenner before he died. Like the last thing he said was, make sure to get that book out.
Yeah. Great stuff. Great stuff. Well, I wish you the best of luck. Thank you for coming on, and keep it going with the community and getting more people involved.
Thank you, brother. Take care of yourself. And I appreciate you telling the people to check out my Instagram, Ray Negron Yanks.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time here on Billy the Batboy's Corner.
Hey guys, it's Tom McCarthy, the voice of the Philadelphia Phillies. You're listening to Billy the Batboy's Corner.
We would like to thank you for watching this video here on Billy the Batboy's Corner. Hit our subscribe button on the top left-hand side to see more content like this. On the right-hand side, we have some videos lined up for you as well. Also, stay connected with us on social media by following us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.